So hi everybody, we're going to get started in a nice, easy cross-legged position. If you would like a cushion or something to sit on to make it more comfortable, grab one of those now. It could be a rolled up towel, could be a yoga block if you have one, but it's not essential. So we're just going to spend a few minutes centering ourselves, coming to the present moment. I'm sure everybody's had a busy morning, a busy day, Monday, start of a fresh week. So we're just going to take a few minutes to let that all melt away. So it really helps if we close our eyes, maybe just wiggle the shoulders, kind of get those kind of any restlessness in the shoulders, let that go. And we're going to do a check in through our senses. So as the eyes are closed, just notice if you can sense any light, maybe from a nearby lamp, or maybe if it's still daytime where you are, maybe some light filtering in, but just become aware of that. And next, take your awareness to any sounds around you and let those kind of wash into your body. We're not going to try and block out sounds. So maybe you can hear traffic, or maybe you can hear some people in another room. Maybe you can hear music, or maybe it's very quiet. And just become aware of those sounds. Next, become aware of any taste in the mouth. Maybe swallow and see what you notice. We're trying to really heighten our awareness of our senses. And then take your awareness to the feeling of touch. Notice where your hands are resting. Notice where you can feel the body resting on the ground, the pressure points, the contact points. And then take a nice big inhale and feel the breath moving into the body. And as you exhale, just relax the shoulders one more time. Now we're just going to do a short breathing exercise, keeping the eyes closed. We're just going to really turn our awareness to where we notice and feel the breath moving in the body. And to do that, we're going to split the breath into kind of three sections. We're going to think of the upper part of the lungs, the rib cage, and the lower part of the body, which moves with the breath. So we're going to inhale. And as you inhale, I like to think of it in three parts. We're going to inhale, rise the belly, the rib cage, and the upper chest. And as you exhale, release the air from the upper chest, the rib cage, and the belly. Now, don't worry, this is just a little exercise. So let's inhale, feeling the breath move into the belly, the rib cage, the upper rib cage, upper chest. And as you exhale, let go of the air in reverse, relaxing the upper chest, the rib cage, the belly. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, belly, rib cage, upper chest. Exhale, upper chest, rib cage, belly. And then let go of that and just take a gentle round of breathing on its own with no control. And now we're going to reverse that. So we're going to inhale and feel the upper chest, rib cage, belly expand. And as you release the air on the exhale, let go of the air from the belly, the rib cage, and the upper chest. So let's begin with an inhale, upper chest, rib cage, belly. Exhale, release the air, belly, rib cage, upper cage. Inhale, upper chest, ribs, belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, upper chest. And just release that. One round of breathing without any control. And then the final stage is to breathe into the rib cage first, then the upper chest, and then the belly. And as you release the air, go back in reverse. Belly, upper chest, rib cage. And again, don't worry if it's different order, but just try this, give it a go. So we're going to inhale, feel the rib cage expand, upper chest, belly, release the air from the belly, the upper chest, the rib cage. Try one more time. Inhaling through the rib cage, upper chest, the belly. Release the air from the belly, the upper chest, and the rib cage. Well done. Okay. Release and all the air from your body. Take a few rounds of breathing, just nice and gently on your own. Feeling everything expand with the inhale and relax with the exhale. Now that's just a little exercise you can do on your own, trying to show you how the breath moves around. And as we go through the rest of the class today, I'd like you to become aware of what moves when you do various different poses. So let's get started with a few rounds of cat-cow. So we're going to come round to a tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. From here, we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, round the back like a cat. And because this is our first pose, just kind of check in here and notice maybe some space between the shoulder blades. As you exhale now, flex the spine down gently towards the ground, but lift the heart center forward and the tailbone up towards the sky. Exhale, rounding the back like a cat. And inhaling, coming through. Let's do a couple more rounds, just moving at your own pace now with your breath. And notice how the spine feels today. And notice, where do you feel the breath? In the cat stretch, you feel the rib cage expanding as the air leaves the body. And as you inhale, maybe you're breathing into the lower belly. Exhale. And inhale, cow. Let's do one more time on each. So cat stretch, exhaling deeply. Inhale into cow. And then come back to a neutral spine, sit the hips back and come into child's pose. So we take our knees wide here, toes together behind you, stretch the arms out along the space in front of you. We're going to press the hands into the ground here and stretch those fingers really, really wide. And then try to almost draw the hips away from the hands. So we're getting a nice deep stretch, probably in the underarm, into the upper shoulder a little bit. Take a nice big inhale and maybe feel the back of the rib cage expand here. And exhale, see if you can sink the hips a little closer to the ground. Inhale. With the next exhale, we're going to walk the hands over to the right-hand side of your mat. So over at about 45 degrees. And as you stretch here, try to draw the left hip away from the left hand and just feel that nice opening. Breathing deeply. Exhale fully. One more round of breath, inhaling deeply, exhale fully, and walk the hands now over to the other side. So taking them over to the left at about a 45-degree angle. And again, press those hands into the floor for a little activation in the arms, and then draw the right hip away from the right hand. As you breathe in, maybe notice the right rib cage more opening up with an inhale. And as you exhale, deepen into the stretch a little more. Big inhale and full exhale. Good. Walk the hands back to the center, come up to tabletop one more time. And we'll just do a little opening for the kind of upper back into the chest, because this is often where we do feel a little tight and it can affect our breathing. So we're going to take the right hand to the temple, elbow out to the side, and just lift and lower the elbow a little, rotating through the kind of the upper part of the body, trying to keep the hips fairly stable. So we'll just do this 4 or 5 times, just moving gently within your range of motion. So we're not really forcing anything here. So almost like doing a little salute to the right. Good. One more time, and then bring the right hand down. Walk the left arm out a little bit, and we're going to now thread the right arm underneath the left. Now, there are a couple of options here. We want to keep the hips nice and high and thread that right arm underneath the left. And gently rest the right ear on the ground as you kind of thread that right arm right out and over to the other side of the mat. Keep some weight in this left hand for support. And try not to collapse here. So really try to keep that left arm quite active so you get a nice opening around the back of the right shoulder into the upper back. Take a couple of breaths. We're a little constricted here with the breathing. So just breathe as comfortably as you can. This is called thread the needle for the upper back. One more inhale. And to move back, really press into that left hand, slide the right arm out, and come back to tabletop. Take a little break. Just sit back on the heels for a moment, shake out the wrists. And hopefully you've got a nice kind of sensation in this right shoulder. So let's go for the other side. Let's come to tabletop. Take the left fingertips to the left temple and leading with the elbow, rotate and open to the left. Let's do 5 times. Just moving kind of slowly with control, trying not to rush this. And again, moving comfortably within your own range of motion. So if it feels a bit sticky and a bit tight, just move a little bit. You don't have to make these big movements. We're just looking for gentle opening. Let's do one more. Bring that left hand down. Walk the right arm out, kind of comfortably to where the arm stretches, and then begin to thread the left hand underneath. So you can kind of creep your fingers along the floor and really get a good twist before you lay the left ear down on the ground. So again, keep a little bit of weight in this right arm for support and really think of threading this left arm underneath. So we've got this nice thread the needle. And again, we're just looking for that opening around the back of the left shoulder blade into the upper back. Keeping some weight in this right arm. I like to do that just to protect the neck. And again, you don't have to come too deeply into the twist if not really where you want to go today. Let's take one more inhale and exhale, press into the right hand, begin to lift your head up off the ground and slide that left arm back out. Good, sit back again, just to now kind of do a quick scan down through the body. Should be feeling nice and warm, a little bit more open. Good, take a nice big inhale and a full exhale. Okay, come up to kneeling, and we're going to step this right foot forward and go through a little lunge series today. So we want to keep this right knee over the right ankle, nice and square. We're going to press the feet into the ground, even the top of the back left foot. That's kind of your anchor and real building strength and stability. So you've kind of got some muscles switching on. Like me, you might already feel this in the left hip flexor. We want to bring the pelvis into neutral. So sometimes what happens here is our pelvis dumps forward or it tilts under and dumps back. See if you can really find the top of the pelvis and think of it like a cereal bowl. And if our hamstrings are tight, it's going to pull it back. If our hip flexors are tight, it could pull it that way. Sometimes it even gets pulled a little bit side to side. So just see if you can bring it to a nice neutral position, and then inhale, lift the arms up overhead. If you'd like to, you can lift up with your heart center, take a very mini back bend here, really thinking of the spine lengthening from the base all the way up. So we're not crunching back, we're lengthening as we go. And again, this can be a micro bend. We're not looking for a deep back bend, just a little opening. Big inhale, exhale, sweep the hands down around to the floor. Now we're going to slide the hands back as we kind of take our right hip back. And this is a great hamstring opener. If you need to slide the left knee back, go for it. And we're going to make this dynamic for a moment. This is one of my favorite sequences. Everyone's probably familiar with this. You come forward and back a couple of times. And this just kind of helps you to tune in to how things are feeling. And we're just kind of hydrating the right hip, the left hip, getting into this hamstring a little bit. And then we're going to come all the way back and hold this for a little bit longer. Now come up on your fingertips. We don't want to collapse forward here because we're going to constrict our airway. So we want to lift the heart center, think of a long straight back, and draw the hip away from the ankle. So you can press the right foot into the floor, get a little bit of length in the back of that right leg, and keep a micro bend in the knee if the hamstrings feel a bit, tight. We're all athletes. That always happens. A couple of options. You can take the foot from right to left. You can make some small circles with the toes. And you can even point the toe away to really get into all this connective tissue on the front of the shin. Good. Let's come forward. And we're just going to walk the right foot now out to the edge of the mat. Bring the hands to the middle. and begin to gently let that right knee roll out to the side. So a little bit of hip opening here, just encouraging some movement out of our normal range. If we're very used to walking, running, swimming, biking, we're usually in this very forward position. So anytime we can just open up the hips a little, it helps to kind of counteract our normal movement patterns. Good. Now we're going to slowly shift our weight to our left hand a little bit, bring the right hand to the thigh, and stay here if that feels like enough of the twist. If you want to, you can slowly lift the right arm up and come into a gentle opening here. Take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, bring that hand all the way down. We're going to walk the foot back to the middle, slide it back, sit back again, and just do that kind of scan. It's good to just take a moment to notice and become aware of how things are feeling as we go through these different movements. So maybe you've got a bit more warmth in the right hip. Maybe you're feeling it in the left. Let's try the other side. So we're going to slide the left forward now, come to a lunge, and come up again and set this foundation so we've got a little bit of activation. We don't want to collapse into the joints. We want to press that left foot firmly into the floor, top of the back of the right foot, and again, check in with the pelvis. So what's the pelvis doing on this side? Can we slowly bring it to that neutral position? You might feel it into the top of the quad, into the hip flexor. And that's okay, just trying to build that awareness of our body. So inhale, lift the arms up overhead, stretch through the fingertips. And then if you'd like to, come into this mini back bend, lifting the heart up and over, kind of sweeping back. And again, this is going to help to open up the front of the body. So take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, sweep the hands down to the floor. So let's now move forward and back a couple of times, getting into the left hip a little bit more, making this a nice fluid movement. Getting into the hamstring. Good. And then we'll do it one more time and slide the hips all the way back. And this is where we can kind of readjust a little bit if needed. We want to lift that heart center, think of the spine nice, long and straight, and then begin to kind of point and flex the toes. And again, it's okay to keep a micro bend in that left knee. You can take the foot from left to right, or you can do some circles with the foot. Good. And then if you want to point the foot away, and that gets into the top of the shin, the top of the foot, and all the connective tissue there. Great. Let's walk our hands all the way forward and bring the foot out to the side. And just try gently rolling the foot and the knee out to the side on the left this time. So our hands are in the middle of the mat. Just gently encouraging some opening. And then come into a gentle twist. And again, we want to kind of rotate, begin to turn our heart center towards the left knee, drop into the right hand, press the floor away, and then bring the hand to the thigh. And if you want to, you can reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Good. Nice opening here. Take a big inhale and exhale. Bring that hand all the way down. Let's walk the foot back to the middle. Slide that foot back one more time and come to kneeling. Just checking in here again for a moment. But we're going to add in a little foot stretch. This is great for the plantar fascia. We're going to tuck the toes under, make sure all the toes are pointing forward. Sometimes the little toe gets a bit squished. And if this feels quite intense already, hold your body with your fingertips on the floor. This still gets the stretch without too much pressure. If you feel like you'd like a little bit more of a deeper stretch, come up to kneeling. And this is one of those stretches where really the longer you hold it, you can hold it up to a minute on your own if you want to. We're not going to do that today, so don't worry. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Come forward to tabletop, shake out the feet, and even tap the feet on the floor behind you. Good. Now we're going to make our way to a downward dog. Take your time, stretch the hands out along the floor, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up and back. And we're coming in here into this inverted V to kind of check in and pedal out the feet, bending one knee at a time, extending the heel toward the floor. And to avoid collapsing into the wrists, really try to take the hips away and back. It helps to bend the knees because it's much better to keep the spine long so the breath can flow freely. If we kind of try to straighten the legs, our spine can be compromised. So keep a little bend in the knees, keep the back happy. Good. And then we're going to step the right foot up to the top of the mat, slide the left foot in about, so you're about a stride's length. We're going to come to pyramid pose because it's great for the hamstrings. So hips are square, and we're going to fold forward with a flat back. We want to draw the hips back. It's a bit like the half split stretch we did earlier. And we want to make this active for a moment by keeping the spine at this kind of parallel position. The hands can rest gently on the leg. Try to squeeze the quads, press the feet actively into the floor, and hopefully you're feeling a strong stretch in the back of the hamstring. Breathe into this. And now exhale, we're going to make it passive, and you can relax the spine now and curl, and the hands can come to the leg or the floor, wherever they round, and let the head hang heavy. Good. Take an inhale. Full exhale. Release this by bending the right knee, place the hands to the floor, and slide the left foot up. So now you're in a forward bend at the top of the mat, and let's just hang here for a second. Hold on to the elbows with the hands and just sway from side to side, keeping a bend in the knees, allowing the weight of the head here to really kind of be like traction to help you lengthen out the spine. And you may feel this in the hamstrings as well. Good. Now we're going to slide the right foot back and try pyramid pose on the second side. So the right foot goes back about a stride's length and the toes turn out to about 45 degrees. Press the feet actively into the floor, lift the body up so your spine is parallel with the ground, and try to keep the hips square. The key here is to squeeze the quads for nice, strong legs, and then draw the hips back and see and notice where you feel it. The hands can be on the leg or on the shin, and really, hopefully you're feeling a nice deep stretch in the belly of the hamstring. If it's pulling behind the knee, put a little bend in the knee. It helps to think of those hips as being in line with the long edges of your mat if you're on a yoga mat, rather than swinging out to the left. So try to guide that left hip straight back. One more inhale, and exhale now. Make it passive by rounding the spine over the leg and releasing the hands. The head can hang. Try to keep the legs active here though. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, slide the foot up and come back to your forward fold again. And let the arms be kind of like pieces of spaghetti hanging down. This is ragdoll pose. You can even sway again from left to right. Good. We're going to bend the knees. Make your way all the way down and begin to come down to the floor. And roll down onto the mat, nice and slowly. From here, hug the knees into the chest and just give yourself a little massage, rocking from side to side. And then put one hand on each knee and let the knees kind of drop away. And we're going to do butterfly circles with the knees, taking them in circles in one direction a few times, and then go back in the opposite direction. Good, then bring the knees together. Hug the right knee in and stretch the left leg away. We're going to put both hands around the shin of the right knee and draw it in towards the chest. Keep the left leg active as though you were standing on the floor, and then using the left hand, guide the knee over to the left and take the right arm out along the floor to the right hand side. So we're coming into this nice reclined spinal twist. You can turn the face to look out over your right arm and try to relax the shoulders here as much as possible and let gravity really help you in this twist. Notice how the breath changes when we are in a slight twist. The breath may be more in the upper chest Or do you feel it in the rib cage? It's a little harder to feel it in the belly when we're in a twist. Good. Take one more inhale. Exhale, roll back to center. Hug the right knee in one more time. And then switch, stretching the right leg away. Hug the left knee in. The right leg extends away as if you're standing on the floor, so it's quite active. And then using the right hand, draw the left knee over to the right and extend the left arm out along the floor and turn to look over towards your left hand. So now we've got the twist on the other side. Try to relax the shoulders, but keep the legs quite active here. And again, turn your attention to your breath. Take a nice inhale and notice which parts of the body expand with the breath. With the exhale, see if you can release the left shoulder a little closer to the floor. Good. Take one more inhale and then roll back to center. Hug the left knee in one more time. Let's draw both knees up now and give yourself a little massage. Again, rocking from right to left. And then place the feet on the floor, and we're just going to roll with our breath up into a bridge pose. So starting at the base of the spine, inhale, lift the tailbone up off the floor. The hands can be alongside the body, palms pressing into the ground for support. And begin to roll the spine all the way up, pressing into the feet as you do so. And when you reach the top, roll the spine all the way back down with the exhale, making sure the tailbone is the last thing to touch the mat. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, rolling everything up off the floor. Lift the hips as high as you can. Maybe walk the feet in a little. Press through the glutes, the hamstrings, and then roll the spine all the way back down onto the floor. When you reach the floor, pause for a second. Take a nice inhale. Exhale fully. And then hug the knees into the chest and wrap the arms, around the shins and draw yourself into a tiny, tiny ball. Lift the forehead up towards the knees. Squeeze yourself into a tiny ball and then extend and release to the ground. And just make your way into Shavasana, into this deep relaxation pose where the hands release to the floor, the back of the hands gently rest on the floor. The feet, the knees relax, and just closing the eyes. Begin to tune in with your breath a minute. And scan down through the body, starting at the crown of the head. As you go, releasing the back of the head to the floor, the shoulders, the spine, the hips, the legs, the knees, all the way down through the shins, the calves, the ankles, taking your awareness to the tips of the toes. When you reach here, squeeze the feet towards each other, squeeze the toes, squeeze the foot tight, 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 and then let that go and feel a wave of relaxation spread now up through the legs, through the knees, the back of the legs, to the hips, through the spine, up the back, all the way to the shoulders, down the arms to the hands. Take your awareness to your palms and squeeze the fingers into tight, tight fists. And then exhale, release that tension and let the hand rest and melt against the ground and feel the arms heavy against the floor. Feeling the whole body now resting, letting the benefits of the yoga movements, the breath, move through the body. And anytime the mind starts to wander, just come back to the breath, feeling the rise and the fall of the body with the inhale and the exhale. letting any chattering thoughts just drift away without judgment, coming back to the breath, slowly following the inhale and the exhale. Now, start to deepen the breath. Take a nice big inhale, feel the body rise. And as you exhale, begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, bring some movement back to the body now. Allow the body to come back to the room, back to your space. Take another inhale, reach the arms overhead, take a full body stretch, and point and flex the toes, maybe do some circles with the hands. And then bend the knees and walk the feet in and begin to roll over nice and slowly onto your right hand side. Pause there for a moment before pushing into the ground and making your way up to an easy cross-legged position, just gently opening the eyes as you do so. And just for the end of this practice, let's come back to sitting in an easy cross-legged position like we did at the beginning of the class. And let's bring our hands to our heart center, just to be thankful for this time, thankful for an opportunity to work with our breath, retune our attention. Thank yourself for taking this time. Thank you for coming today. I wish you a wonderful evening wherever you are. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time.